the full Aromatix lineup of fragrances from French Avenue and Neeb as it currently stands, explained and ranked. Hey guys, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman, and it's time for your dose of some fragrance content. Today I'm going to talk about the Aromatix lineup from Neeb and French Avenue, yet again. About 10 days ago I did my quick overlook and review of the latest 4 releases in this lineup, but since people have asked me under the comment section of that video how I'm ranking them, based on my personal taste and preferences, and since we already have a total of 8 fragrances in this lineup, today I'm going to take the time and take the chance to actually do exactly that. I'm going to try to very quickly explain you how all those scents smell, what they're appropriate for, especially like weather or time of the year, and then I'm going to tell you, how I like them the best, from my least favorite to my most favorite one of the whole lineup. We now have a total of 8 scents in this lineup, and now this lineup is actually quite versatile because we have some more fresh, fruity, summery fragrances. You've got some darker, sweeter, heavier scents. You also get a few quite, I would say, versatile all year round scents. So I think it's appropriate to quickly talk about the scents themselves. Now, I'm going to start with the summer scents, the ones that are more appropriate for warm weather. And out of the current lineup, I think there are 3 of them that are really appropriate for warm weather. They're called Platine Blanc, this white bottle, Sunkissed, and Tease Me. Those are the 3 that are actually feel like the most appropriate for warm weather. All of them have this fresh scent profile. In the case of Sunkissed, this one also has a nice amount of booziness, a nice amount of a vetiver note, which adds just a hint of a mature factor to the scent profile. Platine Blanc and Sunkissed feel more masculine, like more masculine scents. Tease Me is the one of the out of those freshies that feels most unisex to my nose. But basically, if you're looking for a summertime freshie or a fragrance that's more appropriate for warm weather, and you are looking at this lineup, Platine Blanc, Sunkissed and Tease Me are the ones that you should check out, in my opinion. If you want something that feels a little bit more versatile, something that you can wear, throughout most days of the year, then your choice should go down to either Magnetic or Forbidden Fruit. Now, Magnetic is an interesting scent that feels powdery, floral. In a way, this smells similar to stuff like, let's say, Amouage Reflection Man. In a way, this smells similar to YSL Myself. This is mostly a masculine scent as a scent profile, and this can be worn throughout the year. Maybe in summertime you have to be more careful with the amount of sprays, but other than that, this is pretty versatile. Forbidden Fruit is slightly boozy and fruity scent that has enough sweetness and enough airness in it to be worn in warm weather. Also has enough sweetness basically to work in cold weather as well. This one feels a little bit more unisex. Again, in the summertime I would be careful with the amount of sprays because the opening can be quite dense and intense, but if you are careful with the sprays, basically you can wear this one throughout the year. And the rest of the fragrances, Carnal Desire, Royal Taboo and X-Xandal, which were actually the first 3 released in this lineup, feel like scents that are more orientated towards the to the colder days of the year. The most masculine one out of the bunch is Royal Taboo. This one is a spicy tobacco-based fragrance with some sweetness in it, but this one feels the most masculine. X-Xandal is a very nice vanillic-based fragrance that smells sweet, that smells slightly boozy. This one perfectly unisex in my opinion, and pretty much the same can be said about Carnal Desire. This one is fruity, floral, sweet and leathery. So these are the choices for you, in my opinion, if you're looking for a cold weather scent and you're looking up in at this lineup. Okay, so now that I've given you a basic idea of what those fragrances are mostly appropriate for, which one feel more, more unisex, which one feel more masculine, I'm going to rank them based on my personal preference, the way that I like them. And I'm going to start with my least favorite one out of the bunch. And the least favorite one out of the bunch for me to this day remains Royal Taboo. Now, I know that a lot of people like this one. This one smells in a way similar to Creed Centaurus. It's as I said, a tobacco-based fragrance with some spiciness and some sweetness and even a hint of freshness. But I've always felt that this one just comes across a little bit too sharp for my taste personally, and that sharpness actually ruins a little bit the scent profile for me. And even though I really like tobacco-based fragrances, Royal Taboo to this day remains my least favorite fragrance out of the bunch. But this one, the good things about this one is that it has a pretty good performance. But this sits lowest in my ranking when it comes to my favorite ones out of the bunch. The next one in line, I'm really debating on which one it should be, but let's say that the next one will be Tease Me. Now keep in mind that after Royal Taboo, everything from Royal Taboo I actually at least like, and some of them I really like a lot, and in fact I almost can say that I love them as a scent. So Tease Me is going to be ranked next, but I don't want to take anything away out of this scent because this is a nice fruity semi-fresh fragrance that feels perfectly unisex, feels a bit floral as well. It's a light and delicate scent, but simply compared to everything else in this lineup, this will be my next favorite. Then it will be Sunkissed. The main reason why this won't be, ranked higher is because I've never been the biggest fan in the world of the note of vetiver, and this has quite a strong vetiver note on its dry down. But other than that, this feels slightly green, feels fresh, and has a bit of a boozy note in it. It's not a bad scent, especially for warm weather. But again, I don't want to take anything away from this fragrance or the way that it smells or the quality. It's simply that compared to everything else in this lineup, this is simply my next least favorite fragrance. Now we are getting into a territory of fragrances that I kind of like quite a lot, and it's kind of hard to rank them from here on in, apart from the last two that I'm going to show you. But let's say the next one will be Forbidden Fruit and Magnetic. I actually like them equally as much, and Forbidden Fruit, I have only one minor gripe with this one, and that's the fact that it has a very intense opening, and usually I don't mind strong performing scents and especially strong projecting scents, but this one feels even slightly overdone in the opening. That's probably the only minor gripe that I have with this one, and that's why I'm going to rank this one next in the lineup. That's why maybe I prefer Magnetic just a tiny little bit over Forbidden Fruit, but overall, I feel almost equally as good about both of them. So that's covered. Those are the scents that I didn't like that much, or that I like, but I don't really have a soft spot for. And now I'm going to move on to the three fragrances that I really like a lot, that are my most favorite ones in this whole lineup. The next one in line is Platine Blanc. This is like, I would say, almost a 10 out of 10 fragrance, but I'm just going to take like a 0.5 out of it, but just for the sake of me ranking them basically. Other than that, this is my most favorite freshie in the current lineup, and I really think that, Neeb, Aromatix, and French Avenue did a great job with Platine Blanc. This is fresh, slightly green, musky, very nice, very good fragrance for the warm weather. And despite being a freshie, this has a very, has really nice performance as well, pretty strong for a fresh scent. In fact, it's a pretty strong fragrance, no matter what kind of a scent it actually carries. This is my most favorite freshie in the lineup. And then we're down to these two. Now, if you have asked me like a couple of months ago which one is the better choice out of the two, I would have said Carnal Desire without any doubt. But X-Xandal is one of those scents that keeps evolving with time. I've had this for like 7 or 8 months now in my collection, and the more that this one sits, just the better it gets. It's a fantastically nicely blended vanilla scent that again with time just gets better and better and better. Has some spiciness, has a bit of booziness, has this chocolatey vibe in it as well. And the more this sits in my collection, the more chocolatey it becomes, and especially this combination of the boozy note of the vanillic sweetness and that chocolatey note, which gets stronger and stronger. Just smells absolutely fantastic. And right now this is a very, very, very close second place to Carnal Desire. Carnal Desire to this day remains my most favorite fragrance in this lineup, but X-Xandal is a super, super close second. So here you have them based on my personal preferences. From Carnal Desire, which is my most favorite one out of the whole lineup, down to Road to Boo, which is my least favorite one. And at the end of the video, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to give them a score. This will probably trigger some people, but that's my personal scoring, my personal ranking. I'm going to give Road to Boo a score of 6.5. I'm going to give Tease Me a score of 7. Sunkissed is going to get a 7.5. Forbidden Fruit is going to get an 8, or let's say 7.75. Magnetic will get a score of 8. Platine Blanc will get a score of 9.5. X-Xandal and Carnal Desire will get a score of 10 out of 10 from me. And so pretty much there you have it. In today's video, I tried to quickly explain how every scent from the whole Aromatix lineup smells pretty quickly. I tried to tell you which are the right seasons to wear all those fragrances, which are freshies, which are more versatile, which are darker scents for cold weather. I tried to tell you which ones are the more masculine ones, which are more unisex ones. I also told you which are my favorite ones, my most favorite and my least favorite ones, and I also scored them pretty quickly. I hope that you found today's video interesting. If you did, give it a like. And I also hope that you're going to join me in my next video for your dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.